Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two non-chill filtered single malt Scotch whiskies. This is Ardbeg 10 Years Old. Ardbeg 10, introduced in the year 2000. Green bottle. It's Isla class or type Scotch whiskey. And it's from the Ardbeg Distillery. I paid $44.99 for this, but I know it's higher now. It was higher then, but I just found a good deal on it. Okay, nice embossed bottle. Still have about 60%, 65% of it left. And it's been great. The competitors, or the second one in chronological order, is Glenglassaugh Evolution, introduced in 2012. It is, this one's 46% alcohol, by the way, 46%. This one is 50% alcohol. No age statement, but it is aged in ex-Tennessee bourbon barrels. And it's imported by the Brown-Forman Company in the United States. That might give you a clue of whose barrels they're using. All right. This one runs about $50. This one runs about $50. So price won't matter. Like I said, I paid $44.99 for the Ardbeg 10. The Glenglassaugh I got for an extraordinarily low price. The price was $15.99 at Savannah discount. I'm not joking. Can you imagine that? $15.99. Ardbeg 10 year. $55.99. Well, anyway, they around 50, because I've seen some websites have the Evolution for $55, $56. So they're around the same price. If you shop around, it might fluctuate a little above 50, but $55.99, huh? Ooh. Wooden cap, real cork. Perfect pour. Olive fire. Good morning. It's 14 degrees up here in the mitten of Michigan. Whew. My grandmother's first cousin used to live there up in Cross Village, Michigan. Cross Village. They went to see him one time up there. Drove up there. I met him before. He came down here. All right, so real cork. Plastic cap, though. Okay. Perfect pour. Doesn't usually happen. Aluminum cap cover, plastic and aluminum cap cover. Lost the cap cover for the Evolution. Don't know what happened to it. Appearance. They look similar, light gold, but you can see that the Ardbeg is even lighter. It's like the palest straw. Now, it doesn't say no color added. It says non-chill filter, but it's hard to believe that after 10 years that they would need to add color, because it looks like this is what it would look like. You know, used barrels, first and second fill barrels. And There's a ton of sediment in it, though. That's why, because non-chill filter. It's not filtered, so you got all kind of specks and particles floating around this thing of some composition. And this one too has particles, non-chill filtered, not as many, but pretty good amount, I must admit. So light gold. Okay. Gotta close my eyes because if I see that super pale appearance, I'm gonna know it's Ardbeg 10. Honey topped white bread crust. A peat fire, smoke damage from a fire. So this is smoke infused whiskey. I don't know what else to say. If you've had smoked meats, if you ever smelled that liquid smoke that you can buy to make your stuff taste like it was smoked, but the pale malted barley was lightly toasted over, because this is very light, over a peat fire, flames. Woo. So that's the Ardbeg 10. Don't need to taste it. Don't need to keep my eyes closed. Got it. Okay, so not much of a challenge, and whoever thought it would be, because Highland Scotch, Isla, there's too much to separate them and they can't cross over. Okay. Price point, like I said, around the same, $50 to $55 or even more, depending on how unlucky you are in your shopping, and I know the feeling. Tastes really strong. Whew. It's 100 proof, 50% alcohol. Honey top white bread crust at a jacked up strength. The ex-Tennessee barrels, do they shine through? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to really get any kind of charred oak, because after all, if let's say they're using Jack Daniel's ex-Tennessee bourbon whiskey barrels, the Jack Daniel's is going to suck up all the char notes, or most of the charred character in those 4 years that it's aging, 4 or more, and it's going to suck all that up mostly in the first 6 months. So, and then it just ages. So, Black Cherry Four Loko is amazing, says Daniel Sander. Well, like Paul McCartney said, maybe I'm amazed, but I'd try it if I saw it. Unfortunately, I would try it if I saw that Warheads trademark collaboration brand. I would try that. I have to admit, regretfully, I would try it, and then I would probably get sick. Not because it's bad; it's because it's 14% alcohol, and oh, so strong, and far too strong. Now, 5 ounces, you're okay. But I don't know anybody that wants to share the can with me, 23.5 ounces. If I say, hey, you want to, they say, no. Oh, no, Jack. Sea salt, brine, smoke, peatiness like you get with a compost pile type of situation. Maybe iodine like you get with shrimp. I noticed that in crawfish a lot. I don't like crawfish too much because of that. Would I confuse this with any other Scotch that I have? Maybe Finlagan, but I don't think that's as smoky. So it's unique. It stands alone, and I love it. Is it the best one I have? I think it is so far. Now, I haven't tried all my single malt Scotch whiskeys, and I have so many in the back stock. It's getting overwhelming. I'm getting scared. Okay. I need help, y'all. I need help tasting them is what I'm trying to say. Okay, oh man. It's kind of strong, for a 46% alcohol. It's no joke. It's no lightweight. It's more like mid-range whiskey though. The lighter weight is 40. Now you might say, I saw some 70 proof, 35% alcohol whiskey. Those exist, but technically they're not whiskey, even though the bottle says light whiskey. Yeah, it's a distilled spirit specialty, DSS, distilled spirit specialty. So you might say, I'm going to court. I'm suing you. Good luck. You'll never win. It's like this lawsuit against Fireball. I think it's got no merit. I mean, maybe they could claim, and it's a joke, though, they're saying, they're talking about this Fireball cinnamon. It's not the regular Fireball whiskey that you buy everywhere, which is also a distilled spirit specialty. It's not technically a whiskey. It's made with whiskey, Canadian blended whiskey. But these people over there talking about, well, I was in Georgia and I bought it, and it said Fireball cinnamon, and I looked carefully at the label, and it said malt beverage with whiskey and other natural flavors. And they're saying, see, it says whiskey, and then Sazerac said, well, they're not reading it correctly. It means whiskey flavor and other natural flavors. I'm sure they'll just change the label to say with whiskey flavor and other natural flavors. I don't know what whiskey flavor is, but apparently that's a flavoring you can buy, a natural flavoring called whiskey flavor. Strange, isn't it? But I've seen other products with that. So, like Yukon Jack. Funniest thing. But that, to show the phony nature of the lawsuit, they're going to buy it at a convenience store in a state that does not allow liquor sales in a convenience store. So right there, that cannot be whiskey. And you're going to go claim you're going to file a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit. We're getting cheated. You're not really getting cheated. You're actually getting to taste Fireball. You're getting to taste Fireball. You're not having to go to a liquor store to buy it. No, it's not the authentic Fireball. It's a mimic wine-based, malt liquor base. But so what? It's going to taste the same. It's a lower proof. If you're that much of an alcoholic, maybe you should just go to the liquor store and perhaps buy a very cheap vodka, such as what's that, Nikolov? I saw a handle at Total Wine for $8.99. But maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should go to a therapy program, behavioral modification program to stop drinking. Right, like fake whiskey Fireball pop off. I've seen that one too pop off. So I can see no merit in that lawsuit. I think it's a joke, and it's not a good joke. You see, I thought I had a case. Not that I would ever pursue it, I love this honey top white bread crust. Not that I would ever pursue anything like that. I don't have time for that kind of silly stuff. But I do have time, sometimes extra time, but I wouldn't entertain silly stuff like that. I bought this blended whiskey with natural flavors. 70 proof. When I got home from Arkansas, I said 70, and Texas. I went to Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. I said 70 proof. I got cheated. I know whiskey has to be 80 proof. I know. Oh, I'm so smart. I know. And, I looked up the Tax and Trade Bureau website, and I'm like, I got him. But I was wrong because I kept reading further along. And then they went into more detail and said what they needed to say to explain how it was legal, because it was technically not a whiskey. It becomes what's known as a distilled spirit specialty. And they register that with the government, and they say, okay, sell it. They don't list it on the bottle, distilled spirit specialty. Just like that bourbon with natural flavors I've been seeing everywhere, all these different bourbons with natural flavors brands. And I'm thinking, I know bourbon can't have flavoring added. It can't. Once you add the flavoring, it's no longer bourbon. It's bourbon with natural flavors, aka also known as a distilled specialty spirit. Isn't that funny? All right, so these are not distilled spirit specialties. These are true and tried and true single malt. Now, some fanatics would say, oh, no, it's got color added. It's not true whiskey. You know, they go to that extent. I'm not that deep into the cult. The cult. I didn't say culture. I said the cult. Which of these do I prefer? I'm loving the Ardbeg aged 10 years. Or 10 years old. They call it on their website. Ardbeg 10 years old. What's wrong with it? I'd like to know. Yes, semantics. I'd like to know. I'd love to know. You tell me. There's really nothing wrong with it. There's everything right with it. Now, I've had people tell me, ooh, smoke. I would never drink anything smoky like that. Well, it doesn't make Ardbeg 10 bad. It just makes it a product you don't like due to personal preference issues. It's nothing to do with the quality of the product. And I'm so tired. Oh, that was nice. That honey top white bread crust. Primo, 100%. Keep saying it. 100 proof, sorry. 50% alcohol. Woo, don't drink too much of that. You'd be I am so tired of watching beer, wine, and liquor reviews, mainly beer though, where they describe the product, and they do a pretty good job usually, and then they'll say, well, it's very bitter, and I don't like bitter beer, so I'm going to score it a C-. I said, the score is not derived from what you happen to like. That's a bad review. The score is derived from the quality level of the product, irrespective of your personal preferences. If you can't detach yourself from that, then you're not going to do a good job reviewing the product. What they should say is, even though I personally don't care for very bitter beers, this one is, okay, let's say a scenario. This one is good. Wouldn't say very good, not excellent, and they might name some flaws with it. Not the thing about what they don't like. And then they could say, well, I'm going to score it an 85 a B because it is good, but there are some issues with it. Maybe like a metallic flavor or something. But when they start bringing in this business about, oh, well, I don't like chocolate flavored beers, so I'm going to score it a C- or a D. Got to write you off. I got to put you on the pay no mind list, kid. Okay. What am I, a mirage? All right. So the thing about the Ardbeg 10 now is 46% alcohol, and it's so light. The body is so light. It is just, I don't know what to say. Like thin. You can't say thin. No, that sounds bad. It's just light. Easy going. Well, it'll be a year before I get back to it. That's the bad thing. When I do the taste challenges with the Ardbeg 10 years old, I'm only taking a little sip. And then I feel like I cheated myself, like you knew that I would. I told you that I was trouble. Now, so as light as a feather. Yeah, as light as a feather. Look at that pretty bottle. Oh, Zia. All right, got that gold trim. Gold teethus. Gold trim. Well, so So it's January 2023. I'll be surprised if I get back to it before January 2024, though, I'll tell you the truth, because I got too much coming up. Like a flower. When I finish the single malt, which is going to take another week, not a week, but another number of taste challenges. When I finish the single, you say you've been ramping it up, been doing a lot. I do not. All you all people out there judging everyone, But when I finish this single malt thing, then I got to do the blended, and you know how many blended Scotch whiskeys I have in my trough. I wouldn't say too many, but it's certainly not too little, not too few. I got to go through all of that. Some are getting low though, so they're going to be dissipated soon and tossed out. Thankfully, because I'm getting tired of this. It's just too many, But that's going to take a good while. The single malts, the blended. Then I've got brandy. That I've got a good backstock of brandy, and I got this Reynal. The official name is 3 Barrels, but they call it Reynal in the U.S. Some kind of probably copyright thing, but trademark issue. But Reynal was made by a company called Reynal AC, so it is from Reynal. They call it 3 Barrels in merry old England. Apparently the #1 selling brandy in England. Can you believe it? E&J is the #1 in the United States, I think. So I got to go through the brandy. Then I have rum, and I have a lot of rum. I'm going to do the let's see, I did the Don Q Gold. So it's going to have to be a silver rum. Oh, probably be the Barcelo, which means apparently anchovy in Spanish. Anchovy rum, huh? All right, Barcelo or Barcello. No, that's not Italian. Barcello. That's going to be great. And when I tell you the price I paid, you're going to really be angry because you're going to say I'm lying, but I'm not. Not lying. They got a nice little website now for that rum. I got it when it was first put out on the shelves. I got it new. Then we have tequila, and I'm gonna bring in an old famous one. You're gonna say, who hasn't heard of this? And the answer is nobody. Everybody's heard of it. If you ever heard of tequila, you heard of this. So you know what I'm gonna bring. You know what tequila's coming in, right? If you've ever heard of tequila, you've heard this brand, okay? If you know about Steely Dan, you heard this brand. Then Mezcal. Well, these are obscure brands, but I can't say I found a deal on them. I just bought them because I like the looks. Because you got the looks, I got the brains. Let's get together. But seriously, folks. But I have the Mezcal. 2 interesting products which I know nothing about. I've done no research on them at all. Then we got to swing around, make the U-turn. Then we got to do rye whiskey. Do I have any new rye whiskey? Yeah. I don't know if I do, but I think I have one. Don't I have another rye? But if not, I'll buy one. But I think I do have one left. I just, for the life of me, can't think of it. I got a mental lapse right now. But I know if I do have one, I got to bring in another. That's it. That's the last of the line. I got to bring in more. Then we back to, of course, then we're going to swing back to straight bourbon, which I have too much of that. Then the blended American whiskey, which I have a good amount of backstock on it. And then we go back to Canada. So it just keeps going around, but it takes a year to go around. Do you understand? It takes a year to go through the process. The word trough is excellently applicable, whereas I myself is concerned. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it's sort of like that, like this endless feeding frenzy, mania. You say you're bipolar, you're in the manic stage. Well, I must have been in the manic stage for 7 straight years now, which I don't believe That's the way that works. Usually you're swinging back and forth between major depression and mania. You say, well, then you're manic. You're manic. Okay. I'll agree with that in the sense that I have this excitement level for all these brands and I want to go through them. So, okay, fair enough. The doctor told me, he said, you're so sane, you're insane. Now, the rhyme, the rhyming of rye is finer than wine. I won't even begin to tell you all these wines that I bought. Do I have some wine? Do I have wine in this house? Yes, and I tried the first of them, and it was really good. Cabernet Sauvignon. You could eat that more than drink it. You know, Cabernet Sauvignon, you could eat it more than drink it. It's like these high gravity malt liquors. You're eating it more than drinking it, you know? No, I mean, anyway, well, so the winner here is me because I got to taste two great products. Either way it goes, you're winning because these are awesome. My silly attempt of creating an impromptu lyrical rhyme. Well, you did all right. Not great, but okay. Sort of like my success level and many times. Hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. All right, y'all take care now. I'll be back soon enough with Glenn wrote this 15-year age. It's nice, but you can't find anything about it. Their website, if you look at the Glenn wrote this website, they look like they got like 1,000 different types. It goes on and on. You know, sherry barrel, rum barrel, cherry wood barrel, this barrel, that barrel, 18-year age, 15-year age, 11-year age, 7.5-year age. And I'll say, well, why would you want to produce that many options from Berry Brothers and Rudd? And they don't even produce products. They just basically contract with people. There is a Glenglassaugh distillery, though. But yeah, it's going to get killed or raided. Yeah, it's not going to make it. Glenglassaugh Evolution going to massacre it. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. See y'all soon.